Are your compression tester, your feeler gauge, a 14 mil wrench, a 3 millimeter Allen head, a 3/4 inch deep well socket, a 10 millimeter socket, a 11/16 socket, and a 14 mil socket. You also need your ratchet. So the first step, what you want to do is remove the dust bonnet, take your 10 millimeter wrench, and remove the cage. Next step is to locate the spark plug wire and remove the boot from the spark plug, and take your 3/4 inch deep well and remove the spark plug from the engine. Set that off to the side. The next step is take your compression tester, insert the end into the spark plug hole, and tighten it down. Now, to check the compression, all you need to do is turn the engine over. You don't need to start it. Compression should be set at 90, between the 90 and 120. Your next step is to locate and remove the valve cover using your 10 millimeter socket to expose your rocker arms. The next step is to take your 11/16 inch socket and turn your flywheel clockwise until your valves go in and out and stop. The next step is to take your 3 millimeter Allen wrench and insert it into the spark plug casing. Take your 11/16 and turn the flywheel until your Allen wrench comes out and stops. Your next step is to take your filler gauge, it's setting .006 inches, and check the gap between the rocker arm and the spring. If the gap is too tight or too big, what you want to do is take your 14 mil socket and loosen the rocker arm nut. Hold the rocker arm nut in place and loosen using your 3 millimeter Allen wrench the set screw inside the nut. Next step is to take your feeler gauge and insert it between the arm and the spring and tighten your nut until your feeler gauge is set. Next, we're going to take your 14mm wrench and, holding the nut in place, take a 3mm Allen wrench and tighten the set screw inside the nut. And once you've got the valve cover all assembled, your next step is to check your compression again. So take your compression tester and insert. And check your compression by not starting the engine, but just turning it over. Compression should be at between 110 and 120.